Ugh, I'm so bored. Oh wait, Dress to Impress just released their Halloween update. Let me check it out. Wait, oh my god, this update kinda ate. Ooh, and they dropped another baddie pass. I can't wait to...
Boy. Here we go again.
Welcome back, y'all. Dress to Impress released their highly anticipated Halloween update this past weekend. And as per usual, things got heated in the community. Now I'ma just say this right off the back, I actually enjoy the update. Hear me out, hear me out. While there are some issues with it, specifically one big issue, there's so many things about this update that are incredible, such as the new items, the apple bobbing, and we can't forget the iconic Lena quest. Also, the addition of casual servers is peak. Whoever came up with that, you ate. Honestly, when the update released, I was gagged, not gonna lie. I genuinely sat there and I was like, high key, this might be tied with last year's update, or maybe even better. But then I opened the baddie pass. Here's my live reaction. Could somebody explain the diamond system? Do I have to pay for the diamond? Oh my goodness. No, thank you. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I bought it.
What?
I'm sorry, y'all. I caved. I have no self-control. The worst part is, I already know I'm not gonna finish it in time. I do the same thing in Fortnite. I buy the battle pass, get to page 4, and then it's gone. $8 down the drain. But on a serious note, the diamond pass situation has caused so much backlash, and it's definitely gotten out of hand. It went from people expressing how disappointed they are, to people being really gross towards each other and the devs. Like I always say in my videos, you can get your point across without being toxic. The moment you decide not to be constructive, people don't want to hear anything you have to say. Now, just to be clear, this is not me defending the diamond pass. I'm just saying some of y'all out there gotta chill out. I think what shocked me the most is seeing creators belittling players for not being able to afford the pass, or just straight up calling people broke. I know for some people 300 Robux is nothing, but you shouldn't make people feel bad about not being able to afford it, especially in this economy. Like, what? Honestly, I feel like this conversation is a good one to have because these types of practices are super common in the gaming industry. But the thing is, it gets worse as time goes on. At some point, we're gonna be watching ads before and after every cutscene. Wait, let me shut up. I don't want to give these corps any ideas. If you're a gamer, you've definitely seen how a lot of companies are just absolutely milking their players for any penny they can get. Now, the main argument I've seen in defense of DTI is that their game is free and they have to make money somehow. But we'll talk more about that later on in the video. Before we start, please do not send hate towards the devs or anyone mentioned in this video. Also, just because I don't agree with certain decisions DTI has made does not mean I'm being a hater. Just like if you think the decision they made is great, that's your opinion and you can feel however you want. So please be respectful and constructive with your thoughts in the comments. Or in other words, keep it cute or you'll get the boot. Now let's start off with the first section. Just to give a quick summary of what was added to the update, we got 56 new items, 13 new hairstyles, a bunch of new preset and custom makeup, 3 new runway effects, 3 new walk packs, 3 new pose packs, the Haunting Beauty Robux set, and a cute Halloween town where we can earn candy by apple bobbing and trick-or-treating. We also got the very first Lena quest ever, so this update was massive. I actually think it's bigger than last year's update. Now that we're done with the update log, let me tell you what I like. The very first thing on the list is the Halloween town. I think this is a great addition to the game and it's way better than the dance floor thing we had in the summer update. However, I do wish the trick-or-treating waiting time was shorter. Personally, I feel like 15 minutes is too long and you're not guaranteed to get candy either. The majority of the time, I have the crow person attacking me when I knock on the door. Now, the apple bobbing mini game, I like it and I'm glad they decreased the waiting time from 10 minutes to 5. But I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little hard to play the mini game due to the lag. I've brought the graphics down and everything, but I'm still having issues. Not just with the mini game, but DTI overall has been laggy for me. Besides the mini game, I really like the Potionology class they added in the recording studio. It's super cute and hopefully they keep it after the update ends. The next thing on the list is the Lena quest. Honestly, the fact we even got a quest is amazing. I was just talking about how I felt like the Lana lore stuff was getting put in the back burner, but it looks like the devs are still interested in working on the quest. quest. Now the first part of the quest was pretty easy, but the second half, oh my god. I don't know about y'all, but I was lagging so hard. It might have been the fact that I was playing with a big party, so maybe that's why. But my screen would literally freeze while I was walking, then boom, the Birdman would get me.
Put some respect on my name.
However, when I played the quest by myself, it was actually not that bad. The second half of the quest is pretty much the same as the Doors library part, so it was a breeze when I soloed it. I also like that the devs hid lore around the map, such as Lena's diary. By the way, after this video, I'll be working on a Lena lore video, so stay tuned. Anyways, the quests were easy, and I absolutely love the reward items. I know some people aren't into the lore, but y'all cannot miss out on this outfit. It's too good. Now the next thing on the list are the items. First and foremost, all the new outfits cleared. There is not one chopped outfit this update. Well, let me not say that. I haven't seen all the outfits from the baddie pass yet, but specifically the free and VIP items ate down. Obviously, my favorite set is Alice in Wonderland, but I also really love the Haunting Beauty set. Both of these have really good toggles to work with. Oh, and let me not forget about the new VIP jeans. This is currently my favorite pair of pants in the game. Now, I did get a few items from the baddie pass already, and I just want to express how happy I am that we finally got bat wings. Oh my god. We also got this Labubu thing, which is ugly but cute in a way.
Oh.
But out of all the items in the baddie pass, I really want the 2 dresses at the end. High key, I need to lock in, but I have way too much going on. Now, speaking of the baddie pass, before we start talking about the issues with it, I want to talk about some of the positives. I know a lot of people don't like the baddie pass idea in general, but I will say this time around, it's way easier to grind compared to the last one. Maybe I'm speaking too early though, since I'm barely on tier 8, but the fact I made it to tier 8 so quick is crazy. But let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the pass. Do you feel like you're leveling up faster, or is it the same? Besides that, I feel like the rewards are better this time around compared to the summer pass. I'm also happy that we have a lot of new currency items. However, the pink cash currency has become obsolete at this point. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next section. The first issue that a lot of players have with the update is that pink cash doesn't matter anymore. None of the new currency items this update require pink cash, it's strictly candy. Not only that though, I remember seeing a tweet from the DTI team asking how much pink cash everyone had. So of course players were expecting that they'd be able to use the pink cash for items, but that wasn't the case. I was a bit confused as well as to why they made that tweet, but I guess they asked because the tickets for apple bobbing require pink cash. Now I did see some players suggesting that the developers add a way for us to convert cash into candy. Obviously, there should be a limit on it, maybe like once a day, but I feel like this would make a lot of players happy. Now, the next issue with the update is the candy grind. I have seen a lot of people complain about how difficult it is to get candy in the game, but if I'm being honest, it's way easier to get candy compared to seashells. I remember struggling for dear life to get seashells, and it literally took me the whole update for me to get the Ivy League walk pack. Currently, I have 230 candies, but I have not locked in at all. However, I have seen a lot of players saying they already bought everything, so I feel like it's not that bad. Now, the next complaint might just be me, but the daily quests are way too difficult again. I remember at the beginning of the summer update, a lot of the quests were kind of hard or required so much, but later on they were super easy. I don't know about y'all, but my quests have been atrocious. Like, I genuinely think I'm cursed because look at this. What do you mean I have to place podium for all my quests? It's rough out here, y'all. Hopefully I'll get a better set of quests in the future. The next thing I saw a few people talking about is the lack of mask clothing in this update. Honestly, the majority of new free items can be worn on the mask body, however, none of the new VIP items can. Also, the only quest reward that can be worn by the mask body is the necklace. I also tried on some of the baddie pass items and only some of them fit the mask body. Now that we're done with that, it's finally time to address the elephant in the room. Let's move on to the next section and talk about the Diamond Pass problem. As someone who's been playing games for a really long time, I'm very familiar with microtransactions. This is a super common practice in the gaming industry that has been highly ridiculed over the years. But no matter how much people speak up about it, it keeps happening and it gets worse every time. When I personally think of microtransactions, I think of EA, Ubisoft, Blizzard, but the gaming company that pioneered microtransactions is Bethesda with their super glitchy horse armor. Ever since then, microtransactions have pretty much spread spread like a virus into the majority of video games. Some games with microtransactions that I can name right off the back are Sims, Diablo, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. Now, I've seen people online say they hate that people are comparing games like these to DTI because they're not in the same league, which isn't wrong. DTI is a free game on a kid's platform, whereas the games I listed are run by huge entities. However, a lot of the practices we're seeing in DTI are similar to these games. Like the baddie pass is literally a play on words of battle pass, which are in games like Fortnite and Marvel Rivals. Not only that, but based on what we know and what the DTI team has said, it doesn't seem like you get to keep working on the diamond pass even if you didn't finish it during the Halloween update. So basically the same thing that Fortnite does. I'm not sure if they're able to add something like that. However, I personally don't think they'd add a way for you to keep the pass even after the update's over, considering there's a skip tier option. And alright, let's say you don't want to compare it to FPS games or anything like that, but what if we talk about a game that's basically in the same genre as DTI? For example, Infinity Nikki. They pretty much dropped an update that tanked their player base because they made the decision to increase pricing on everything. There's honestly a lot more to it, but the best way to describe it is that a lot of the things they did were anti-consumer and they were pretty bad practices. Now, that's not me saying that DTI is just as bad as Infinity Nikki because they're nowhere near that level. I'm honestly just bringing it up because it's also a dress-up game, and it's a great example of how they turned on their community and then they immediately stopped playing. Now, there are two sides to the Diamond Pass argument. The first side feels like the Diamond Pass is money hungry, and the other side is like, well, DTI is a free play game and the devs need to make money somehow. Now, if you ask me, I feel like two things can be true at the same time. DTI has a way smaller team compared to bigger games, but they still need to pay their developers for their work and also for various other business expenses. So the question is, was the Diamond Pass actually necessary? Like, okay, adding Robux sets, that's fine. Making game passes to have access to certain features in the game, cool. But the main issue is that people paid for VIP just to in turn have to pay for the Diamond Pass. So in my opinion, I don't feel like this was the best decision. Even Fortnite gives their VIP or crew members the battle pass for free. I guess the issue is that most people have the permanent VIP game pass, which is just a one-time purchase compared to a monthly subscription. But if you ask me, the Diamond Pass should be a perk for VIP players. Now, I will say, while the Diamond Pass might not seem like a huge deal right now, it is a bit concerning for future updates. Before I continue, I do want to acknowledge that the developers created an amazing update, and I know they worked incredibly hard on this. There's no argument there. With that being said though, was it actually necessary for the Diamond Pass to be added? Is DTI struggling to pay their team and they have to find new ways to keep things running? Or is the goal to maximize profits the easiest and fastest way possible? It could be both. Unfortunately, we don't know how their profits look or how they're paying each member on the team, so it could be possible they are struggling to keep things afloat. It's not a secret that DTI's player count has dipped, so I'm sure the money has gone down a bit as well. But what about the toy lines? I've seen a lot of people bring up the toy lines saying they have to be making bank on these, but again, we don't know how their profit margins look like. However, I personally feel like it has to be good. Those dolls sell out immediately. It's happened to me twice where I buy a DTI doll on the day of release, and a few months later, I get a message saying that they sold out. And anytime I'm scrolling online, I see so many people saying, oh my god, I finally found the doll I was looking for. I've been to so many stores. So in my opinion, I feel like the money has to be looking nice. Overall though, what I'm trying to say is the Diamond Pass feels unnecessary to me. And it is unfair that VIP players have to pay for a pass to give them exclusive items when the purpose of VIP is to get said exclusive items. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. With that being said, let's move on to the next section. Now, besides the Diamond Pass argument, people in the community have been acting really disgusting towards each other. Like, why am I seeing influencers shame people for not being able to afford the Diamond Pass? Saying things like, it's only $3, calm down. Or saying, if $3 is too expensive for you, you got bigger things to worry about. Like, if you're trying to defend Dress to Impress, that's fine, but get a better argument. Also, let's be honest here. It's not just $3. It's actually like $5 or $6 because you can't just buy 300 Robux. Robux. The minimum amount you have to buy is 400. The conversion of 299 Robux might be $3, but if you don't have anything in your account, you have to pay more. Or if you have almost exactly what you need, well, too bad, you're gonna have to pay $5 to get the remaining. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, at the end of the day, you have a right to your opinion, but whenever I see people shame others regarding money, it feels so snobby. I remember when I was a little girl, I liked playing this game called Stardoll, which was a pretty popular fashion game. And I remember asking my mom for VIP, which was like $10, and she told me no because it was too expensive. And I remember this girl at my school bragging about having it, and she was poor shaming me because I couldn't afford it. I'm sure this sounds like a dumb story to some, but I can only imagine kids scrolling on TikTok and then seeing an influencer be like, "You're just broke." Like, hello, can y'all read the room? Also, some people need to remember that different currencies exist. I remember in one of my videos where I talked about the cost of the mystery dolls, someone commented that they could pay for food for their whole family for a month with $35 in Iraq. So before saying things like it's just $3, remember that not everyone has the same privilege to say that. Lastly, there's this video that's been doing its rounds in the community from an influencer talking about the Diamond Pass. And they pretty much say they feel like the Diamond Pass is not as bad as people are making it seem, and that it's not even expensive, and that players are too comfortable asking the devs for more, but it's never enough. Also, side note, apparently Dress to Impress reposted this TikTok, which left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I guess in my opinion, I just feel like I wouldn't have done that. Now, the only part of the video that I agree with is that last part. If I'm being honest, I feel like there's been a lot of times where the developers have gone above and beyond and people are still not happy. But I feel like the Diamond Pass situation is a valid concern for players to have. Today, the Diamond Pass is 299 Robux. Next update, the Diamond Pass is now 500 Robux. Then a year from now, there's a new game pass called Elite, and you have to pay $10 a month for exclusive items and perks. That's why I think people are worried. Nobody wants to see their favorite game go from humble beginnings to a corporate machine. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the final section. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this video was a little difficult for me to make because I've talked to some of the DTI devs and they're really nice and I love the work they do, but even so, I don't agree with the addition of the Diamond Pass. It's honestly a difficult conversation to have because DTI is a Roblox game. It's not a big corporation like Ubisoft or something, and it's also a free-to-play game. There are so many games out there that charge you a base price and they still have an insane amount of microtransactions. So in this case, since DTI is a free game and they don't have a big company backing them or anything like that, some people feel like the pass is justifiable. Personally, I don't like the fact they added it, but it's not the end of the world to me. But I am concerned. And look, I get it. It's a Roblox game and it's super common for these games to have a million microtransactions in them. But just because it's a common practice does not mean it's okay. Now, I will say, compared to other Roblox games, DTI is not that bad. I know I bring this game up a lot, but Blox Fruits to me is a money-hungry game. Cause why is one fruit $44? That's absolutely insane. Don't even get me started on Pet Sim. But even so, I genuinely hope that DTI doesn't go down the same route as some of these other games. Personally, I feel like the Diamond Pass should be discounted for VIP players. Or really it should be free because VIP already spent money to get exclusive items. And it shouldn't be like the Fortnite game passes where it disappears after the season's over. Like, I literally paid for this, let me keep it. Now, I have seen a lot of people speculate that the DTI team is going to remove the Diamond Pass, but if you ask me, I don't think they're going to remove it. I believe this is one of those things that DTI is putting their foot down on. Either people will stay or more players will quit. Again, I think the Halloween update is great, but the Diamond Pass feels a little bit icky to me. But you know what? Hey, I'm not a game developer. I don't run a game, I don't have a toy line, I don't have a business. I literally only have this channel. So things might be more complicated behind the scenes than we think. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the Diamond Pass. Do you think it's money hungry, or do you think the decision is justified? Also, how do you feel about the update overall? Do you think it's better than the one from last year? Or is Halloween 2024 still the GOAT? Okay, bye. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, bye. See you. Bye.